Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Just wanted to make a quick video. There is a lot of chatter talking about a race riot. Black people are going to riot. Black people are going to go around and start killing white people, and there will be a race war in the United States. First of all, if you look carefully, and this is a two-parter, for blacks and for whites. If you look carefully, it is white liberals who are starting these rumors and who are starting all of these Black Lives Matter and what have you. That's right, Black Lives Matter was started by white people. It was not started by black people. Now, how does that strike you? In fact, it was white people that started the whole Confederate flag. White liberals started the whole Confederate flag, and then white people talking about the MIA flag, and white people talking about the US flag being offensive and racist. I don't know how the MIA, I went to military school, military boarding school when I was younger, and the MIA flag was, and the MIA symbol was all very near and dear to us, and we did all sorts of stuff for the POWs, MIAs. Now, how in the world is a symbol that represents POWs and MIAs, and to try and to get these other nations to release American POWs back to the United States, and we're still doing deals with them? We were trying to get Congress when I was a child. Think about that. Anyway, so it's white people, white liberals, who are behind all of these Black Lives Matter, black people are going to do this, black people are going to do that, black people are offended. No, black people are not offended. With our history and our stick-to-itiveness, this is what the left media keeps obscuring and making disappear from all of their talks about black people. The Black Negro National Anthem, We Shall Overcome, which was written by a white person. Black people have overcome suffering, torture at the hands of white liberal people, white Democrats, over and over and over. Being literate, being educated, where it was against the law. Yes, that's the definition of racism, where it's against the law to teach black people, to educate black people, to teach black people how to even speak English. Against the law. It is white people behind these rumors. Now, black people, if you hear these rumors and you're not a complete idiot, you know that there are going to be 60% of black people who are invested in the country who are not going to start going around killing white people, or don't even have the notion of it, will never do it. Won't happen. One guy came onto my Facebook and said, "You have no idea what you're talking about. This question has already come up." There have been race riots already in the United States. Plenty of them, many of them, race riots. I'm not talking about Rodney King. I'm talking about before. And what happened? The streets ran red with the blood of black men. The minimum wage. When they instituted the minimum wage, why did it actually happen? Because black people were underbidding white people for white skilled labor. And they got the minimum wage to pass to say you cannot hire anybody under this amount. It wasn't you have to hire people and pay them good wages. No, it was you cannot hire anybody under this amount. And this is the argument against the illegal aliens. They can work under the minimum wage. And this is the argument. It's the same exact argument that they made against black people, and they passed the minimum wage. So that solidified racism. How many black people do you know who would work for $5 an hour? I know plenty. I know plenty. If you don't know any, that's just you. I know plenty. You remember, I look at the whole picture. I get national data. I look at a lot of data. Black people would work for $5. Yes, in 2015, black people would work for $5 an hour. Trust me. And that's what the minimum wage was. It was against black people. And why did they pass it? Because they were under pressure, because white people started race riots against black people and killed them in the street. The street ran in rivers of blood. Rivers. Learn your history. Now, getting to the point, there are 246 million white people in the United States. There are 45 million black people in the United States. If you start this race war, and I have these people, you're not pro-black. You're not pro-black, you're an Uncle Tom, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm a Pan-Africanist. That means I actually have a codified, solidified doctrine of how to uplift black people. Any good black leader, I'm not talking about Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, any good black speaker throughout the history of the United States has always advocated for black people to pull together, not to go around killing white people. Now, I have said time and time again, if you are having a problem with your local police, recall the police chief, recall the city council, recall the mayor. Oh, you don't think you can do it? Well, you got this Confederate flag on the national news. You got this Black Lives Matter on the national. Oh, that's right, because white people are behind it. That should be the evidence that you have no political power. That should be the evidence. And I don't believe that the Confederate flag issue coming onto the national news took a whole bunch of white people. It did not. But for some reason, black people think that they don't have power. Trust me, if you would friggin' just grab hold of some political power and say, we are not going to vote for you and we are going to call for your recall, you would have it overnight. And you have these white people just whipping you into a frenzy. Yeah, we're owed something. How can I tell that Black Lives Matter? Well, I already know for a fact that it was started by white people. But how can you tell if something is started by white liberals, specifically white liberals? White conservatives are not going to start anything for black people. Just go ahead and trust that. Now, when it's started by a white liberal, invariably, that means without any change, invariably, you're going to have at the base of it demands. And these demands are not going to be realistic. They're always are going to demand something over and above than a normal human being in the United States would receive. That's how you can tell that the feminist issue is started by white liberals and not by a sane thinking woman. In fact, the inner circle of the feminist movement is now run by lesbian, man-hating women. And that they kicked out from the inner circle actual straight females. There's articles written about it already. So now you have these liberal, leftist, fascist people starting these black issues, quote unquote black issues, and saying that, oh, black people are offended. And then they put in front of it a face that's black. It's kind of like Obama. Obama is the face of something black, and it's to solidify that you, black people, would vote for him. I did not vote for him. Sorry. I know I've said that in the past as a joke, as being sarcastic, and I've gone to great lengths to be sarcastic, but people don't get it. I'm libertarian. I don't vote Democrat. I do not vote Republican. I vote libertarian. And there's a meme going around. If all the people who said Bernie Sanders could not win the popular vote Bernie Sanders would win. I say the same thing. We've been saying the same thing in the Libertarian Party forever now. If all the people who said, I like the libertarian ideas, I completely embrace it, I am a constitutionalist, I am for small government, I am for the freedom of mankind, period, but I don't think the libertarians can win. And then they do not go and vote for them. In one battle, they had the libertarians and they came out against them. Oh, the media came out against us. And we won the 20% popular vote, which actually then threw the entire election. I think it was for a Senate seat. U.S. Senate. And we won 20% of the vote, which then threw off everything. I didn't keep up with the race. But if everybody voted libertarian who said that they agree with all of the tenets, you would have a libertarian Congress. You would have a libertarian president. Stop listening to the mainstream media, and black people need to stop listening to these liberal, leftist, fascists who call themselves Democrats or whatever they call themselves. Neocons, what have you. At the base of these movements are white people who are not having the black interest at heart. Black Lives Matter is not demanding anything sane, anything logical, and the way you're going about it is illogical. You want to beat them at their game. You don't want to play some other childish game where they're just going to come out and beat you over the head and arrest everybody. Ooh, Bernie Sanders got arrested for trying to be a part of the movement. That should tell you right there that he's playing a game. Come on now. It's all smoke and mirrors. Bernie Sanders got arrested for us. Really? You think this millionaire has black people's interest at heart? It's just like the rich people who say, oh, this movie portrays this greedy, rich man. Wait a minute, sucker, you are rich too. How is it you're saying that the movie's terrible because you have a rich man who's greedy in it, but you're rich? Something's going on, something's afoot, right? I said that because I just saw a review of The Wolf of Wall Street, and I just was so offended by the person whose tie clip cost $10,000. His tie clip cost $10,000, and he's screaming about greed. Black people, stop falling for this stuff. And all that's going to really happen is if you do this race riot thing, if you go through with it, first of all, you're going to have 60% of the black population not participating. So instead of 45 million, you're going to have a very small number of black people. And what's really going to happen is they're going to come after people like me. You're not the prize. Poor, unwashed, ratchet black people are not the prize. I'm the prize. People like me are the prize. Why? Because I'm speaking freedom, self-empowerment, real civil rights, meaning constitutional rights, God-given rights, natural rights. And they can't have that. They went after Bill Cosby. Everybody's, oh, he's a rapist. No, he got taken out because he told black people, forget racism. If you don't understand the game, why are you trying to play? Why are you at the board? Why don't you leave it to people who know better? Because you can't even be left to simply buy black. And that's something you can do without anybody's influence, without anybody's okay, right? Without anybody's permission. You can't even be left to do that. And you refuse to do it. On a daily basis, you get on Twitter and you say, yes, black people, Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 blah. And you pass up Big Bertha's barbecue chicken restaurant every single day. I gotta get me some McDonald's so I can kill myself, so I can make some white man rich. And then you turn around and call me a coon? Really? Take a seat. I have gone around Las Vegas and tried to here's what's really retarded. Tried to interview black-owned and operated restaurants. And what did they say? I don't know. I don't know if we should do that. I don't know if... What is that? Really? Black people. Okay, come on. Let's get real. They will go around and start shooting black people at will. They'll see me on the street and go, oh, black person. Kapow! All right, we got that one. And no matter how well spoken, this is what people tell me, how intelligent I seem, how well spoken I seem, they will shoot me dead. And you, Mr. Thug, Mr. Negro, Mr. Pants sagging down, they'll leave you alone. They don't need to shoot you. You're already a slave. You're already a coon. You're already a Sambo. You're already a caricature of what you really should be. We black people, overcame so much in this country. And we were headed down the right road. And then what happened? The liberals, the leftists, the communists. I can't believe you're trying to support Bernie Sanders. The socialists got hold of you and said, okay, let's do this better. Let's forget about this KKK stuff. Let's tell them that they don't have something that they deserve. You deserve this. Let's convince them of that. You deserve this. And that's exactly what Black Lives Matter is talking about. You deserve this. You deserve a home, a 3-bedroom house, and a $15 minimum wage. You deserve that. Nobody should. First of all, only 1% of the entire workforce, not the population, workforce, is on minimum wage. Only 1% of the workforce is on minimum wage. That means 99% of the rest of the workforce is not on minimum wage. So this is not an actual issue. And this is how the leftist fascists work, the politically correct. If you're against homosexuality, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're an evil person. 1% of the, 1% of the population. They deserve this. They deserve your respect. Nobody deserves my respect. I think I'm the best person in the world. Absolutely. I hate everybody. I think you're all peasants. You don't get a pass from me. Nobody gets a pass from me. You can call me all the names you want. I don't care. I'm a woman and I deserve this. That is leftist fascist talking points. Black people, stop listening to this mess. We didn't go to the government to get our 40 acres and a mule. When we were set free, we did what we could. We survived and we overcame. That is the continuing message of Black success. We overcame. You don't want to teach us? We'll overcome. We overcame. We went to nearly 100% literacy in a span of half of one generation. That's like 10 years. The entire population of the Black Americans. educated, literate. Half of a generation. It's unheard of in human history. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, black people are stupid. We went from illiterate to nearly 100% literacy rate in the black population in half of a generation. It's unheard of on the planet. No other race. Black people are poor. We had mom, dad living in homes that we bought, we financed, had our own black banks, had our own fire department, our own taxis, our own movies, our own hospitals, everything. Our own dentists, our own pharmacists. Overcame. We do not need the U.S. government to do anything for us. This is exactly why every black person should be a part of the Libertarian Party. You do not need welfare. We were doing fine before welfare. Why were we doing fine before welfare? Because Miss June, who owns the chicken barbecue restaurant, after hours would give Shaniqua and her 10 children enough barbecue to stuff them for a week. And you know what happened the next night? She did the same thing. We didn't go hungry. We didn't go hungry. We didn't go untreated medically. None of it. But leftist, white, liberal, fascists came in and said, you deserve this. You deserve, you see how the nice barber shops in the white part of town are all nice and shiny and clean. We overcame that. You see, you can get away with that if you just don't happen to have that in that black neighborhood. But there were plenty of black neighborhoods who had shiny counters, shiny stainless steel milkshake makers, brand new paper restaurant caps for the milkshake guy who comes and brings you your milkshake. Swept floors, waxed, wiped down leather seats, shiny tables. That was in a lot of black neighborhoods, but the liberals convinced you that your poverty-stricken neighborhood, which was not doing its deal to buy black, you deserved something better. You don't deserve a better business. You don't deserve more clientele. You get clientele. You market to clientele. And lastly, let me say this. For those people who say, you shouldn't concentrate on black as a business. You shouldn't concentrate on black people. We control $1.7 trillion each and every year of spending. That means this is not your house note. This is not the power bill. This is not the garbage, trash, water, sewage, none of that. This is what you have left over to spend. This is not even the grocery bill. This is what you have left over to spend. $1.7 trillion. Now, if black people concentrated on black people, would we ever even need to see a white person? And we wouldn't fall this, you deserve welfare, you deserve food stamps, you deserve WIC. So all of this mess about there's going to be a black riot. First of all, why don't you try getting some political power? Like I keep telling you, get some political power, get you some lawyers, find you some black lawyers. Instead of you marching down the street getting shot by police, how's your peaceful march going to end up with you getting shot by the police? What did you accomplish? I said marches never accomplish anything, and this is worse. You got people killed. And this is exactly what's going to happen. Get you some political power, hire you a black lawyer, take up a collection, get your black lawyer, and go about the business of recalling all of these corrupt cops. And even if you say they're not corrupt, they're actually getting black criminals. Okay, here's the problem. The white guy that shot dead 9 black people, and I don't want to hear about the conspiracy. Let's go with the whole news, right? That he shot and killed 9 black people. They arrested him and took him into custody. This guy, who was reported to have more ammunition, more weapons than Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie with the aliens. They captured him. In fact, they didn't even pull out their guns. The video is out there. They didn't even pull out their guns. They just said, come along. It's time for you to get arrested. He came along, got in the car. But a black kid playing with a toy gun. Here's the problem. It's not that they're arresting black criminals. It's that they're killing black men who are accused of anything, even stuff that the police make up themselves. A black kid with a toy gun, clearly with an orange thing at the end of it, raping little black children. These are policemen. It's not that they're arresting or doing anything with criminals. It's that black people do not have constitutional rights to a policeman. I have had police tell me they trained him in the academy that black people are evil, black people are criminal, black people are violent. There is not one single black person on the FBI's top 100 most wanted list, nor on the CIA list, nor on the CFR list. Black people are 75% in jail due to possession of personal use marijuana. Simple possession of marijuana. Personal use. That means they had less than whatever. In jail. And under maximum sentences. While white people go to jail for murder and get off before a black guy who uses marijuana in his home shot his dog and molested the children in the wife. These are policemen. And policemen come into black homes that have no involvement whatsoever, wrong house, and shoot black people. This is what you need to, anytime that happens, you need to organize, get you a black lawyer, and recall the chief, the mayor, city council, everybody. This is what you do. That's how you get political power. If there's real consequences, marching down the street, well, who cares if you march down the street? I don't care if you march. You could be marching down the street for all the, what am I doing? Playing video games and making YouTube videos, writing blogs, researching. You can march it up and down my street. Oh, I hear all sorts of things going on outside. I don't even look out the window. Who cares? Occupy Wall Street. They continued right along as you were buying their iPhones. Occupy Washington, D.C. Nothing happened, not a blip. Nothing happened.